What is up, everybody? Turboverse TV today. With the hype of Resident Evil Village that came out on Friday, people are now getting the sell reports of like some of these games in different territories. So this guy is talking about the UK territory of when this how well this game sold, and this guy is like real. He's a Sony guy. He's a Sony zealot at this point. So any any positive Sony news is like they're gonna run with it. Well, you could just easily debunk some of the stuff. Like it's like so. The post that he made was Resident Village. 49% of its sales were on PS5, 31% on PS4, and only 20% on Xbox, Xbox One, and Series X and S consoles. So he says Xbox gamers continue to not buy games and destroying gaming, thinking every game will be on Game Pass. This is embarrassing. Now this tweet had a little bit of traction to it, so that's why I'm just making a video about this. But this tweet is super dumb. As you can see, he has a Returnal avatar, so he's like a Sony zealot. And it's like, this is only going by the physical sales of this one in the UK. This is going by the physical game sales in the UK. So this isn't everywhere. This isn't worldwide. I don't know if UK is more. I'm pretty sure there probably are a bigger PlayStation territory than let's say like America, because America is probably the biggest Xbox fan base probably in America. Well, other countries I know like Japan, they don't buy the Xbox at all. I don't know if UK is like the same thing where people play buy the Xbox that much there. I'm not really sure about the UK stats on the whole console situation there between PS5 and Xbox, but it's pretty obvious that this game is going to sell more on PlayStation than Xbox. They had the marketing deal for this game too. Sony had the marketing deal for this game. Like they had exclusive like demos. Sony was advertising this game heavily. So it's pretty obvious this game is going to do more on PlayStation regardless. And it's just shocking. Like we even saw, like we did the video about how Sony said, "Hey, this game cannot be on Xbox Game Pass." It can't be on Game Pass to year one. It excluded this game from being on Game Pass. So we know that Sony paid Capcom for this deal. So why are we shocked that this game sold more on PlayStation? It's kind of like most multi-plat games sell better on PlayStation anyway. It's like most of them do regardless. So I don't know why it's just shocking news. Like this isn't like this wasn't gonna happen, but it's not really shocking to me. But let's see some of these comments. It's not embarrassing. It's smart. $70 or $80 for a game is ridiculous. F that. These companies are making big money even when they sell at a discount. Trust big companies don't take losses ever. Sony is currently seeking PS5 at a loss. I think he means selling PS5 at a loss. It was revealed recently that Xbox never turned a profit, like never. Or maybe it has something to do with the deal Sony made with Capcom for the game. There's more than one side to a story. It did exactly the same with Hitman 3. What's the excuse there? It's every single game. It's like, were people really checking for Hitman 3 like that, to be honest? I mean, I'm not trying to crap on Hitman 3 because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who love the Hitman franchise, but were people really buying that game like that? Like, it's just ridiculous. These arguments are pretty ridiculous. Where is Returnal on that list? What do you say? He said, rent free in your head, lol. Also doing great digitally, even beating Call of Duty with just one day of sales. Since there are more PS5s out there than Xbox Series X, and more PS4s than Xbox One, there is no surprise, right? Like literally, there's more of these consoles that people own more of the PlayStation consoles than Xbox consoles. So I don't know why this is that shocking. If you want to play with numbers, you should do it the right way. There was 450,000 PS5 sold in the UK, and 310 in the Series X sold. Data ending December 31st. This alone tells us the game is not that big to be destroyed 80-20. I'll tell you that when you show me your progress in the game. I've beaten it 5 times already. Okay, so you beat the game like 5 times. Wow, how do you beat the game 5 times already? That's pretty crazy. Jeez, I just beat it once. Oh, let's see. The funny thing is that Returnal has completely disappeared, just like Xbox game sales. What's embarrassing is how fanboys act like physical sales represent the majority of sales. Xboxes prefer digital. It's like counting GameStop games only and ignoring Amazon's digital sales, claiming Xboxers don't buy games. LOL. It's just the point that he claims that like Xbox guys don't buy games because of Game Pass. That's such a false statement. Like that's so stupid. Like if that was the case, these companies wouldn't even release their games on Xbox. Like why even bother at that point if nobody's gonna buy your games? I was like, it's just stupid. This is a stupid argument. Like these Sony guys are so ridiculous with their arguments. They sound like nobody on Xbox buys games. And I legit bought this game digital on Xbox. I was like, I bought the game digital. And Xbox has like promotions too. Like right now, they have the promotion Resident Evil. If you buy the game digital, they give you like 6,000 Microsoft points. You can do it. You can reward a Microsoft reward point. So they have that. And I think they have the same promotion with Mass Effect Trilogy, the last Mass Effect Legendary Edition. So it's like it's kind of stupid. It's kind of silly to say nobody buys games on Xbox. That's just ridiculous because of Game Pass. PlayStation Digital sales is almost 80%, so no excuses, please. But Series X has 2 to 5 frames per second better performance. Xbox are saying 2 to 5 frames per second isn't a big deal. Whenever PlayStation 5 outperforms Xbox Series X, but they flip flopped. This comes up with every game release. UK doesn't buy physical. Read the article and see how much sales are down on the previous ones. And those who do traditionally own PlayStation, Xbox owners in the UK are more likely to buy digital, have been for years. And like especially in this generation, you can't go by physical sales anymore because a lot of people buy digital games now. Most people are probably like exclusively digital. I myself, like I sometimes buy. It's like I'm probably 50-50 on digital and physical. I can go either way, digital or physical, to be honest. But it really just depends on which one is cheaper or just more convenient for me to get. So. He says yes, and the sales of those would extrapolate, or you think 80-20 will suddenly will flip. PlayStation game sales represent 79% of total game sales. It won't be much higher for Xbox, and even if it's say 90% won't cover the deficit. For the record, I'm one of the 20%. I love Game Pass, but I forever buy my video games whether it be released on Xbox Game Pass or Xbox Game Pass lets me try it. Good, people should buy their games if they want more of them. I would say Xbox players got used to Game Pass giving them access to many games at an affordable monthly cost, which makes it hard to justify $78 for a game. I definitely am not paying $78 for any game, to be honest. So you can say that's because of Game Pass, but that's just I don't know. I think it's just smart consumerism. Why spend that much money on a game that it's like a game that might be mediocre to begin with, or might not be that great? We have hundreds of games, 300. I think it's like 300 plus games in Game Pass. That's like I don't see a reason to buy some of these games at 70, $80 to be honest. You could just wait for a sale, especially like for like the games that have came out, like Returnal. I didn't really care about paying $70 for that game. Demon Souls didn't care for paying that much for that game. What else came out that was $70? That's pretty much it I could think of. But yeah, I don't see how most people pay $70 or full price for these games. I just don't understand that. Also, Game Pass gives you so many games to play that you don't need to rush buying new games at full price. Yeah, there's so many games on Game Pass that you probably haven't even played yet. Game Pass is such an amazing service, man. I know these people like to downplay Game Pass because they're like the Sony zealots, but Game Pass is such an amazing service. So he says it's very bad for gaming. This will allow PlayStation to capitalize more deals, exclusivity, etc. when Xbox fans don't buy games. Okay, so why would they need more exclusive? That kind of point don't really make sense to me. Why would Sony need to buy more exclusivity deals if the Xbox fan base isn't going to buy the games anyway? Shouldn't they not do these exclusive deals? If the console going to sell regardless if they have to do a exclusivity deal or not. So I don't get that point right there. Digital sales are not in. I purchased mine digitally on the Series X. Also, the article also talking about how well Resident Evil is doing in the UK. Are these numbers global or UK based? I couldn't find any context clues. That excuse won't work. With most recent quarter, PlayStation full game sales were 79%. UK is Xbox's biggest market outside the US, so it's actually worse than the rest of Europe and Asia. This is a scandal. So that's a scandal now. This is crazy. These comments is pretty ridiculous. Damn, this game sold on the consoles that sold more. Who would have thought? Right? Like exactly. Of course, it would sell more on the consoles that sold more overall. Like this common sense. What's next, Sherlock? You'll explain how Horizon 2 isn't released on Xbox because it's exclusive. I guess he means Horizon Forbidden West 2. Okay. Xbox gamers stopped giving an F about Japanese games long before Game Pass. Though it's a tad more one-sided now than it used to be. Also, so much for install bases being the end-all, be-all. PS5 version sold as much as other consoles combined. PS4 and Xbox One included. LOL. Oh, let's see. Do you think Microsoft may be reassessing its business model yet, or are you still banking on the upcoming exclusives? Xbox consoles have never turned a profit for Microsoft. I don't think most consoles make a profit for their company. I think the only one that's probably making a profit is probably Nintendo Switch or probably the Nintendo console. I don't think the rest of the consoles really make a profit for their. Like, why are people bragging about this stuff? Like, really, we knew this. Even Sony consoles don't make a profit for Sony. Even the PlayStation consoles don't make a profit for Sony. So why are people like bringing this up? Like this is a blow to Microsoft. This is so stupid. In the UK, it's the Xbox second biggest market. I know I'm not from the UK, but here to prove that people on Xbox do in fact buy games. Why do you need to prove that? Like it's common sense that people on Xbox buy games. Like it's so stupid. Like you don't even need to prove this, but okay. Like I wouldn't even show this dude a receipt. Like it's so stupid. Like these guys are Sony zealots. Any news that seems like remotely positive on PlayStation stuff, they're gonna run with it and say Xbox guys are ruining gaming with Game Pass. I've never seen so many people triggered over a rental service before in my life. They aren't triggered over Netflix. We rent movies on Netflix. They aren't triggered over Hulu. They aren't triggered over Spotify. We get to rent music. They are or Amazon Kindle. We get to rent books. They are only triggered over Xbox Game Pass, which is it's just so stupid. At the end of the day, it's just dumb. Like it's gonna be a new twist on why Xbox Game Pass is bad for the gaming community or the gaming market. It's always some new twist. Each day is gonna be some new twist. Yeah, don't even use Game Pass to prefer physical games, and that's cool because you have that option. Like I don't understand why this option is a bad thing. Like if you don't want to use Game Pass, you just like physical games. Good for you. You have that option, but a lot of people just want to play the games. They don't care if it's digital or physical. They just want to play the games. And Game Pass gives you access over 300 plus games for only $10, for as low as $10 a month or 15 a month. So these guys are they're just too much. He says, I blame it on poor marketing. Had Xbox players had the demo, we would have known more about it. I'm a big fan, but if it was out of sight, out of mind, I can't find the Xbox Series X I'll be purchasing via Steam. They're waiting on Game Pass. Game Pass mentality, they are used to filler games. This whole Game Pass conspiracy theories are just ridiculous. These conspiracy theories about Game Pass, how Game Pass is just ruining gaming and now really. I knew it would be a big gap, but not that big. Cool stats, but the game has been out for 4 days now. Isn't that only physical copies kind of reaching here? I agree with this comment right here. This guy's definitely reaching. Pushing narrative about Game Pass. Oh look, more people fighting over plastic boxes. This is a effing great comedy. Yeah, this is kind of sad. This is kind of sad. This is pretty sad. Like at the end of the day, who cares? Like I'm covering the story, but at the end of the day, who cares about what system, what system these games sell more on? I'm pretty sure their companies are just happy that this game is selling regardless because a lot of games don't sell on either platform and they flop, and then the company has to shut down or be in consideration of shutting down if their games don't do well. So we should be happy that this game is selling regardless. So it's just really dumb. These whole console war things. And this whole narrative is saying that Game Pass is bad for the industry. Like this comment right here. This guy says, no surprise here. Xbox don't buy games. In the end, it will be Xbox and their refusal to buy games that will lead to Xbox's demise. Not ponies or whatever they think is the reason for Xbox struggling. Wow, this comment. This comment right here. And he even has PS5 secured in his little this little title thing right here. So you can tell what side he's on in this whole console thing. Like it's just ridiculous. And the refusal to buy games leads to Xbox demise. Xbox eventual demise will be due to this exact mindset. Like, what are they talking about? This kind of sounds, when they say the demise, it sounds like the whole, like, when the dinosaurs went extinct with the what was that? Like the asteroids of the dinosaur or that theory or whatever. That's what it sounds like when they're saying this. It sounds so ridiculous. I can see a future where if rental is the way to go, game budgets would need to decrease to accommodate the future budget being taken from a pool of subs. It's like, has renting movies did this big of an impact to the movie industry? No. Has renting music did this much of an impact to the music industry? No. Well, I guess you could say somewhat a little bit, but as you can, has renting books or digital books that did this much impact into the book industry? I guess no. But really, they are really on this whole, the renting a game is just going to ruin the game industry. It's going to be the demise of Xbox. These theories are just dumb. This post is dumb as well too. It's like, who cares at the end of the day? As long as the game is selling well, that's all that should matter. But I definitely want to see your thoughts about this down below. Do you think this guy's completely ridiculous with this post, or do you think get some sense to it? It's just real odd to me how these people just come up every day with some new reason to hate on Xbox Game Pass, with their conspiracy theories saying, "Hey, this is destroying the gaming because you're renting the games." But no other rental service in the history of rental services is destroying whatever industry is part of. So I just don't get it. So everyone see your thoughts about this down below. Leave a like if you like this video. As always, thanks for watching, and peace.